Good afternoon. My name is Carolyn Lopez, and I'm the president of Denver Harbor Cares. When we started our organization, our nonprofit organization of voting outreach or civic engagement, we were just a bunch of friends, a bunch of neighbors, people that grew up together that recognized the need to get out the vote. And we started meeting every week. We started meeting at a bakery, and every week we would bring in more people, and more people would hear about us, and our group finally it grew that we finally became a nonprofit. When we started with addressing a serious issue that was here in this area, fighting gentrification. And what happened there is there's an ordinance here in Houston that's called Chapter 42. And we're trying to, what we did was address and have helped thousands of homes in our area become single family dwelling. And the whole thing got started because I got a call from a priest, the priest from our local church, Resurrection, who said, Carolyn, I've got word that these developers are coming into our neighborhood and they're just harassing seniors, giving them a hard time, and there's no one there to help them. And I told the priest, I said, Father, what can I do? And he goes, I don't know, but you need to do something. We need to help these people. And then I said, well, Father, I just retired. I don't know if I want. He goes, Carolyn, you never retire from God's work. And so Mr. Porras, a business owner, and I had a big meeting at the church along with some of the churches. We were able to get other churches involved, and hundreds of people showed up, and we knew that was an issue that had to be addressed. And as I mentioned earlier, we have saved thousands of homes. And with that, we've also been able to identify some issues that we're helping the homeowners now, because now the homeowners are protected. They're able to, they're improving their homes, and our whole shift of the neighborhood changed when we were able to help the community. We have, we provide several opportunities, presentations to help a homeowner, such as with the appraisal district, the tax office, even a legal clinic that we just did to help homeowners protect their property by transferring their properties before without a will. And we're very fortunate to be able to help homeowners with that. That is so important. It is very, I've been amazed that people just don't know. They don't know. We have found where people have, they didn't even know they didn't own their home. They thought that the home was in their name, and we're also helping them with that. Those are some, we have a serious issue with people building homes, contractors building homes, developers in the middle of the night without permits. So we're educating the community to dial 311, report these issues, and because of our efforts, several homes have been red tagged. They stopped production. So what happens is now they're applying for permits, but it's still ongoing. It is a very serious issue in this community. Our voter outreach, and also we also collaborate with several groups when it deals with educating the community or providing services. ARP is one of our partners that we're honored to be a part of, and they give us a lot of networking. We network with them, and they're able to provide us and provide resources that help the community. This has made a difference in the polls, as we have seen, and our voting outreach program is truly is growing. What became something that people were turning their back on us, telling us why do we want to go vote? Nobody's going to listen to us. To actually people coming to us and asking us, am I registered to vote? How do I know if I'm registered to vote? How do I know? Where do I go? How do I register my family? What do I do? So we also have been collaborating with the League of Women Voters to be able to provide information to the community. And so, and also we give senior presentations with the Elections Division of Harris County, where they teach the seniors and talk about mail ballots, curbside voting, how sample ballots, and it becomes something now that is they expect it. And I'm truly amazed all the time that when you hear these presentations, they have questions and they're being answered by the experts. That's one of the things that our community outreach has been able to do, that it's not just us telling them. We actually have the experts that come here and present to them the answers to their questions. So that is important. We have gone from 4 precincts, our Denver Harbor precincts, and we're expanding. We have been able to, what I call uncharted territories. We're expanding now to 11 precincts, and these precincts are precincts that don't get worked. We're looking at low propensity voters. In my opinion, I think they're all in those particular areas that we're going into, they're all low propensity because these people don't vote. But we have found that when there's issues that are dear to their that concerns them, they will come out and vote. They will come out. And even that is what we're seeing at the polls even now. That when we had the last time when we did a low propensity just here in Denver Harbor, we were trying to address 500. Next thing we knew, we almost hit 1,000. And so, and even in an election that had nothing but amendments, we still got almost 1,000 people voting. So, and you can see that when the people are coming to vote, they want to come vote. Completely different from what we started years ago. And it's because I think the civic engagement factor is a must. It works. It doesn't, and it's so new to the community. People, and even to outside the community, they don't realize the impact of what civic engagement can do for our voter turnout. We also had the opportunity, one of the things when CARE got started, we did a newsletter, and that newsletter provided information and resources. That's another way that we tried to get voter outreach information to the community. And we also talked about things that they wanted to know about. And so from that effort, seniors came up to me and they said, you know, Carolyn, how do you expect us to read this stuff? How do you expect us to read? You know, we don't know about how to use the computer. And so that gave me an idea to say, what can we do to help them? And that resulted in a newspaper that's called La Voz de Denver Harbor. And even though I'm the editor of that paper, you know, that's a separate entity from Denver Harbor Cares. It really grew out of Denver Harbor Cares. So, and we volunteer. Whatever monies we have only goes to the printing and to the and to the layout. Everything else, the writers, the staff, we have 4 writers. We have our distribution team, all volunteers. But it provides the information and the resources. And what a difference a few years have made. When we first started this newspaper, we didn't have nobody helping us. I mean, we just had to go in there and dig for information. Now we went from 1,000 papers to 3,000 papers that we're distributing every month. Now we have people that actually bring us the information. And even today, we have to eliminate information because we have too much. And so that is something that has really helped us, really helped the community. They look forward to that. And so we're looking at hopefully, you know, that has also been a part of our expansion because we're also having that paper go to Port Houston, to our new areas, to El Dorado. So the new areas that we're, being able to expand in, that's part of the distribution too. So, and that's all done volunteer as well. So we're looking, we look forward to being able to help the community. I think we've done that. We're doing that. We're excited about being able to provide a service. Unlike any other community group, that we have these collaboration with major groups that help us make things possible. One of the big areas that I know right now that we're working on is reading, promote reading. Do you know that in our schools here in these neighborhoods, there's no libraries? No libraries. We have worked with the library here in the community. There's a library that was going to be closed had we not gotten involved. And so we've been able to promote that library and reading. And interesting enough, that started because you see little kids struggling to read in the schools when we do presentations or we're out there in the community. You saw that. And when you have books that you can just give freely to them, it makes a difference. We have grandmothers that come up to me and say, can we have books for our grandkids? And then there's the one where this last episode a few weeks ago where a young girl was in the middle of the night, she came out to get a book to read. And she's on camera reading a book. So there is such a need for reading, and it's a shame that we don't have those resources. But we are working. Denver Harbor Cares is working with other groups and hoping to be able to provide books to all our kids. So it is something that we know is needed. But those are the kind of issues that we try to help in identifying and addressing. We had a survey last year. We did 250 survey. One of the top issues of that survey was public safety. So we were able to coordinate with the Civic Club in our area and have the police chief for the city of Houston come and meet with people and talk to the people about the problems and issues and concerns. So those are the sort of things people see that, and if they know they're being listened to, they respond by going to the polls. And it's amazing to me when you see people coming in the polls, you see families coming to the polls. Now we see families. We came from a time where there was nobody voting to families coming to vote. I mean, it's truly been a worthwhile effort to be involved in, because you feel the momentum. You feel like for once you may be making a difference, that these people are responding. So we do need help. I believe that there's so many needs. There's so many, we live in an underserved community. Our community around here is underserved. There's so many issues. There's so much help, but it would be great to be able to, reach out to more people, to be able to help those that we have here, and to provide a community that they deserve.